Whoa, here we are. We're gonna do a reading with all the cards. You've seen them already. You know them already. I know them already. Let's get one of them. See what it is. We got a four of spades with air. It's the element of air. Swords. Resolving a crisis, financial anguish. But the reward is through the struggle of it. So you're fighting and fighting, resolving all your problems, but that's the reward. You've gone through the process of understanding what it takes to defeat the problem, to overcome the crisis. Yeah, it's tapped out your resources a bit, but you at least got through it, so you got that. Okay, bye. Here, whoa, we got to shuffle them up here from the last draw. We mix them all up, nimbly bimbly, and we got a Queen of Swords. She's a little angry right now. The Queen, the Divine Feminine, is coming in as a cold snap. But that's okay. The cold dark energy is there's a purpose behind it. The air is blown the water and whipping up a storm. And like, what's the purpose of that? Sometimes the purpose of that is just to move things around, open things up a bit. Maybe knock down a tree, and then that tree then starts to decay and give life to like slugs or something. And that's also a good thing. So there's that. All right, I'll see you out there. Okay, we're gonna mix this back up here. We're gonna gather all the cards, or just the one card. You know the decks already. I hope you do. They're all here. We're gonna grab one card. We got a tarot card here. The Nine of Wands, Authority. Yes. So we can look at how we're acting out our own authority, whether or not it's in like our work and what we're doing. Are we being authoritative? I see confidence in that, really. This makes me think of how much confidence we have in the way we display the authority over our skills. Think about that. Okay, bye. Okay, here we are. We're gonna mix up these cards from the last draw here. You know it already. All this stuff is available. You can get it. You can do the things if you want. We got a Queen of Cups. We already had a Queen earlier, but this is a more watery queen, the strongest of all the queens, the strongest divine feminine, I think, of the tarot deck, aside from some of the majors. But we've got to be contemplative. There's a lot of water going on here, so the water is quite still, I feel, at this time. Take the time to contemplate and think about things. Use the power of the water to just let everything fall into the place it needs to. Let all the water just kind of seep out through your brain. There's probably a lot of water in there anyways, because we're mostly water as human beings. Okay, we're back. We're gonna mix up these cards from the last reading here. You should. I hope you know what's going on. If not, then just we're gonna dive right into it. We got a very fiery element here. Well, it's the fire element, so it's not. It is fire. We've started a campfire here almost, letting people kind of come in and out. Check out what's going on here. I guess the moral of the story for this one is just set up your fire, be yourself. Roast the marshmallows, have fun, and just let people get drawn to that fire naturally if they come at all. But either way, just as long as you're having fun, even if nobody shows up, then you're already ahead of the game because you're having fun. Okay, let's look at okay, let's look at it. Let's look at the elements. We haven't done that in a little while. We were playing around with the playing cards, pun intended. Element time. It's time for the elements in this collective reading, where if you come across it, then I hope it will help you in some way, and then I'll try to separate my experience from the collective reading. So these are just elements, are very simple. Basically, we can find out what of the 5 elements, the Western elements, is important for the moment that we're in right now. So we've got spirit is important at this moment here. So, look at the spiritual energies that are about yourself. Spirit is a combination of all of the elements. So I like to connect spirit with, say, the Magician tarot card, if that allows a good analogy. And if you don't know anything about tarot or anything like that, just think of like the Magician, a very skilled person, not a stage magician, but someone who has done a lot of personal work with all of the elements. So they've mastered all the elements in a way. Hope that explains the Magician, or maybe it's made it more confusing, but that's okay. That's kind of the purpose of spirit, is to kind of go deep into yourself and figure things out. Use everything that you've got so far to create something that's above all of that. Yeah, spirit. It's a bullseye, right? Okay, here we go. We're going to do, we're working in the elements here with the PathandTarot collective reading series, where we'll do a reading, for people in general. So whenever you come across this is for you, and you can draw whatever you want from it. And I'll separate my experience from this as much as I can, or just leave it at that and let you do the rest. But these are elements. They're very simple. They'll just tell you what element of the 5 you should work on the moment you see this. So what do we, fire, cool, this is good. So we should focus on the element of fire at this time. Transformation is a big part of fire. When you think about what fire does, it burns things, right? So it burns and transforms the lump of wood, the branch that you've taken off the tree that was previously growing. Now it changes into like a burnt lump of, well, it's not coal, but like a cinder. It's changed forever. It can't go back. So you have to think in ways that, how can you transform yourself, and recognize that you can't undo that transformation. That's a permanent transformation. But don't worry. It's not something that you can never undo in a way. You just have to kind of go forward to go back, if that makes sense. But look at ways that you can transform yourself, create that bonfire that can attract new things into your life, because it will give you vitality. The elements in the collective reading here, and you're in the PathandTarot collective reading series, where if you come across this at any time, if you haven't seen it, you can draw something from this, and I will try to separate myself from the reading and to give you something to work with. And we're just working with the elements, the 5 primary Western elements, and this deck helps you understand just which is the right one to focus on at this time, and that gives you a little bit of direction. So it's very simple compared to the tarot. It just gives you we got the air element here. So air, the way I see air is it has to do with like communication and using the mind to formulate statements that allow you to make change happen in the world. So look for ways that you can clarify your ability to communicate and formulate plans to make actions, for yourself. Take action on something. That would be a good. It would be a good time, at least now, at this moment, to just make something happen. Like there's something in there. It's rattling around. I've got stuff in there too, so I know you do. At least one thing. Maybe just take one step forward to whatever that is. Just get started and see how much see how much you can get the ball rolling on it. You'll be surprised at how much you can accomplish once that initial step gets taken. All right, I'll see you out there. Okay, here we go. We're going to do a collective reading with the playing cards. Want to get back into the playing cards a little bit here, play around with them. And so shall we do that? Whoa! Oh, wow, this is crazy. So I did like a test reading, and this is the card that came up. And so, you saw it shuffle up on the screen in front of you. And it came up again. So that's kind of neat. That's a cool synchronicity. Playful young man. Why isn't this me, possibly? you can't avoid when you're reading, when you're doing this sort of work, that your own personal experiences, the reader spills into this here. But that's the point of it. That's, the channeling process of doing tarot readings or cartomancy, just in general, just working with any type of cards, is you spill out into the reading. But to be a good reader, you have to kind of separate yourself from that, or show the audience a way to do that. But we can unpack this a bit in a way that maybe I am seen as an admirer, so somebody is admiring me, being this playful. So there could be that, but then there's the energy that the Jack is reliable but inexperienced, and that's also a little true for me in a way. Like, I've only been doing this channel for a few years now, so in the grand scheme of all of it, it's not that long, a few years. It seems like a long time, but there are others who've been doing it longer than I have, so there's recognition for that. So the cards see that, and then it's a true thing, right? So I can't just ignore it. So there you go. There's the reading, and there's kind of the energy that's floating around in it. It's very playful. So if you can relate to that, cool. If you get something else out of it too, that's great. That's the point of this type of reading. Reach out to me if you want. All right, bye. Okay, we're going to do another playing card reading here, collective reading. Let's see what we can get here. We'll play around. The collective reading is for nobody in particular. It's out there for you to find if and when you're ready to have it find you. And then, whatever your intention is at that moment, the card connects to it. And what you may find is that the Four of Diamonds is drawing you towards some sort of financial growth. Maybe a savings, some sort of lockbox that you've forgot about. Maybe an interaction with sage wisdom has triggered something, unlocked something in your memory, to find this information that creates financial growth. So a lot of the times the pentacles, the diamonds, the earth element, it talks about money, but in a way money it's a resource in some way. Time can equal money if you look at that equivalence. People say time is money. That's a true thing. So you can look at that. Maybe you get granted more time to do something that you love. How exciting is that? Okay, here we go. We're going to draw another playing card here in a collective reading that's meant for you at any time when you find this reading somewhere out on the internet here. Use what you can out of this, and we'll see what we get. A lot of the times the experience of the reader blends into this reading a bit, and help you sort of separate that. It's funny, I just did a reading with a Jack that had come up, and a lot of the time some of the court cards that kind of represent me in the reading in a way, because court cards do represent the querent, the person seeking. So at this moment, it's the only person really seeking is me at this time. So sometimes I have to at least recognize that in the reading. But the King is coming up. It's a fire energy set with the King, but it's mixed in with the water. And at this time, you could say that, I have a caring energy that I'm trying to put out there. This is actually kind of a lot of myself is in this card. I am a compassionate individual. If you got to know me, you may not know me at all, but, I am quite helpful as much as I can be, and there's a lot of emotions that I can tap into. Also, while still, upholding my divine masculine primary energy, but there's a lot of the a divine feminine that I can tap into as well, and that's kind of where the King of Pentacles kind of taps into. So if you can borrow that energy here at this time and use it for whatever you need to help overcome things, look at being affectionate, being caring, being helpful, but fair at the same time. Have it, don't be helpful for just the sake of it. Have a purpose to it as well. Put purpose into all of that. And I'll see you again.